Hey guys, so we are on a roll. We are going to be covering the Ihip 7th and 8th grade. Quite a lot changes for this age group, which is why we are covering this. The state even breaks it down differently, so it needs to be separated. So why? Let's talk about that. So first of all, the hours change. So the hours are no longer 900 hours. It is now 990 hours. That's not a lot. It's not a big deal because you're still going to be covering way more than you realize. Everything counts when it comes to homeschooling. If your kids are cooking, counts. If your kids are outside, counts. If your kids are playing games, it counts. If your kids are reading, it counts. If your kids are playing, it counts. I'll explain more about that in a different video, but trust me, no matter the age, it all counts. You just kind of have to figure out where it counts when it comes to 7th through 12th. Okay, because this is where the hours do change and they do start to add up. You don't have to put how they add up in the Ihip or in the quarterlies, but just note that each unit, we're now in units, equals 108 hours. Now, I want to make this clear. When you add up the units, they don't equal the same amount of hours needed for the total year. That gets very confusing, right? So you kind of have to but I need 990 hours and I only have 4 units. How is that working? You have to make up those hours. All right, so let's talk about the regulations. So this is a cumulative, which means that you can change up when you do the unit. It doesn't have to be one per year, right? It adds up. So English, you need 2 units. History and geography, you need 2 units. Science, you need 2 units. Math, you need 2 units. Again, unit is 108 hours each. PE on a regular basis, health ed on a regular basis, that still includes the alcohol, drug, and tobacco misuse. I also include the highway and traffic safety as well as the fire safety and prevention in here. That is needed. You don't have to put it in this particular section. I'm just letting you guys know. Art is 1/2 unit, so that's 54 hours. Music is 1/2 unit, again 54 hours. Practical arts, so let me explain what that is. Practical arts is things like sewing and cooking and cleaning, learning more of a life skill. This is the only time that they have it, is during this time. That is on a regular basis. Library skills, again, the only time that it is mentioned in homeschooling is now on a regular basis. So what that could mean is going to the library, learning how to research, how to look up things that you're going to naturally do anyway, but they just do have it. So if your kid, say, loves English and they want to do all of that in 7th grade, that is okay. Maybe they don't like math, so maybe they trade the English 2 units for the math 2 units. Whatever it can be, as long as it adds up by the end of 8th grade, that is fine. Okay, so I want to make that clear that you can change that up. It's not as easy in that terms, not everyone's going to do it the same for 7th and 8th grade. So that is what we're going to cover. I'm going to show you the Ihip again. Let's go. Okay, you don't have to set it up the same, but it has to have the same information. Name, address, your child's name, date of birth, age, and grade. Now again, this is a cumulative, so you can do this however you want as long as all the units are covered. A unit is 108 hours, just to remind you. You have your subjects, you have your topics, you just need a couple, and then you have a couple of resources. If you plan on unschooling, make sure you have those resources down. whether you do like teacher paid teacher, you don't really have to use those resources. I'm just saying library must be on your Ihip somewhere. YouTube, maybe you're just practicing. I do make custom curriculum, so I just make sure that the Ihip reflects whatever curriculum that is being used. Even in unschoolers, you need this. And then you put the units that you plan on doing. You don't have to put the hours. All right, so you'll do that for all of the subjects that are needed as listed. In the history and geography, I just want to remind you that those topics need to be covered at least once, grades 1 through 8. The reason I put it every year is because they don't tend to check previous year's paperwork. And this will just cover your butt, okay? They may, get back to you saying, well, you missed this, and then, what do? You have to resubmit it. This is just so that you don't have to go through that. Then with the health education, that is yearly. Doesn't matter what grade. That is a must. And so forth. You're going to completely fill that out. The material subject to change, always put that down. You may want to change your curriculum. And then the quarterly dates, we're about to talk about that. Okay, quarterly dates. The quarterlies, let's talk about that. So, this will remain the same when it comes to every grade, just being clear about that. The only thing that is changing is, again, the hours, right? Hours, 900 for grades 1 through 6, 990 7th through 8th, and then the required subjects based off the Ihip. When it comes to the dates, you still have to meet 180 days between July 1st and June 30th. So what that means is July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022 is considered the school year. You don't have to homeschool every single day. You can make up your own schedule, whatever days you want to cover, as long as there are a minimum of 45 days between your reports, okay? So there are suggestive dates by New York State, and you can absolutely go by that. That's not a problem. I highly suggest that, especially for first-year homeschoolers. I do year-round, so I'm making that clear. I do year-round homeschooling. There are some year-round that just report during those times, which is totally okay. Makes it easier on them. Awesome. I don't. You can change your quarterly dates. I change mine to every 3 months, and that really just reflects what we're doing. We take off some time as needed. It's not usually a lot. Like I said, even on our downtime, we're still doing some work. It may just not be a lot of hours or day, time, but that's okay. Learning happens all the time, and it all counts. All right, I hope that helps, and I will see you very soon.